Welcome to another episode of Business Gist. Thank you all for joining me on this journey. This week we're going to be talking about a subject that's near and dear to my heart. It really stemmed from conversations that I've had with clients, with friends, and it's what I call, they promised me a recession. We are very fortunate to be working with clients, individuals, entrepreneurs that have been able to amass a little bit of what I call a war chest in the past few years, and they were just looking for that savory opportunity that many people call a recession. Now, we all know recessions affect many different people in many different ways, but for those that are able to amass a little bit of a war chest to be able to deploy, whether it's the cash or whether it's assets, their business, whatever it is, during a recession, the traditional thinking is that, it's going to be a low period. So when you're investing in a low period, the returns are are going to be exponentially increased whenever the market gets back to normal. Well, up until now, there hasn't been that recession. Maybe in a few different sectors, there have been some rolling recessions. However, on the overall economy, there hasn't been a recession yet. And what I tell, there are opportunities, even without a recession, there's some opportunities. Many of us also live inside metros that are, I wouldn't say they're recession proof, but what I would say is that it's going to be tough for us to possibly feel the full impact of a recession. Let's look at us. We live in Dallas-Fort Worth. Seems like everywhere you go around here, everything is just bursting at the seams. We're building all the way to what we joke as, we're building all the way to Oklahoma. Before you know it, DFW, Oklahoma, we're just going to be one little area. But if there was, because of all of that activity, because of all of that progress and development that's coming to Dallas-Fort Worth, even if there was a recession in the whole entire economy of the US, I'm not sure how significant the impact would be in DFW. Therefore, I tell everyone that I talk to is that, opportunities are out there. They're out there. But maybe if we are able to break it down into 3 different things, that it will help us identify those opportunities that are out there for you and me. Number 1, I say networking. That's going to be the secret to finding those opportunities. If no one knows what you're looking for, if no one knows what you are trying to accomplish, well, guess what? You may not be in those rooms, or you may not be invited to those places where people are discussing the same type of opportunities that you wanted to accomplish. So you have to go out there. You have to step out of your comfort zone. You can't stay in your little bubble or in your little community or in your house and think that these opportunities are just going to fall from heaven. No, you've got to get out there. You've got to network. You got to talk to people. You've got to tell them what you're trying to accomplish as an entrepreneur, as an individual looking to make investments, as a business owner trying to develop and grow your business. You've got to be out there and talk to people about that. So that's what I call networking. That's my number 1 strategy. Number 2 is going to be, you have to be active in the opportunities that we are seeing nowadays. Prior, many people were able to invest in passive activities and be able to generate good returns from those passive investments. Well, those are dying down a whole lot now, and many of the opportunities are going to require you to actually be the one to actively manage or to actively run that business or that opportunity or whatever you're trying to get done. You have to be out there. Number 3 is, maybe I'll say it like this. Let's call it invest in yourself. And you can invest in yourself as an individual, you can invest yourself as an entrepreneur, or you can invest inside your business. This part is probably where most of the opportunities that are being created from those around me is stemming from. Maybe you are someone that likes to do real estate. We have one of our clients and a good friend. Now we found that in real estate, it's really hard to cash flow from properties based on the mortgage rates and so on and so forth. So Therefore, you have to be a little bit smarter when you're entering into real estate. Now, what this friend did is that he learned how to renovate these houses. So he's finding the houses himself, he's buying the houses, he's renovating them, whether it takes to paint them, to change the toilet, to change the flooring. He's doing it all himself because, one, it's his passion, but he has built that skill to be able to save on some input cost inside his overall cost of his investment, and therefore being able to enter into that real estate investment a little bit lower than what it would have taken, or maybe buying a completely finished house and trying to rent it out with having a mortgage, right? So that's another strategy where I call it invest in yourself. Or I have another client, he's a dentist. Said he used to refer out a few certain services within his business. But you know what? He's like, you know what? I'm just going to take this time. I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to learn how to do those services that I usually refer out and push out the revenue from my business. But now, once he has learned that skill, guess what? He's been able to capture all of that revenue he's pushing aside. It only took him very little investment for high return. Those are probably the types of investments that we need to be looking at. Many of us are working at corporations, businesses, and we are some of the best employees at those businesses. And you've got relationship with your CTO, with your CFO, with your CEO, or with a director, or with someone that's at a high level. And you are probably the one that is maybe even bringing on people to help fill out some of the opportunities that business that you're working in has. Well, why can't you talk to them and say, hey, you know what? I'm good at this. I have a business that's able to help you accomplish X project in the business. Can't you guys pass it off to me? All it takes is to ask. Right? So it's all about finding about the opportunities that are already surrounding you, and maybe even talking about that with someone, with an advisor like us, to be able to flesh out some of these opportunities that may be around you, but you may not know how to take full advantage of those opportunities. Now, in closing, recessions aren't the only times where opportunities will spring up. Really, opportunities are always there, but they are there for those who prepare themselves to take full advantage of those opportunities. So I want you guys to remember, we've got to network. We've got to be willing to be active in whatever opportunities that we find. Don't think somebody else is going to do it better than you will, or don't just let somebody else do it, because you never know how it's going to turn out. And also invest in yourself, whether it's developing your business or finding new opportunities within your business on how to generate more income, or developing your personal skills, whether as an individual, as an entrepreneur, to be able to generate more income. Again, that's it. Thank you very much for joining us for another session of Business Gist. You take care. Bye.